It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, it'll be the Memphis Grizzlies up against the Lakers in Los Angeles. It's been a tough bunch of games lately for the Lakers. They lost Game 1 in this matchup earlier this season. They'll see them 4 times in all, looking to even the series with a win tonight. And we'll get to see Marc Gasol in this contest, a center who added the three-point shot to his game last season. All of a sudden, late in his career, he's become a three-point threat as a 7-footer. Man alive, Shaq.
Gasol saw how he could open up things when he added the three. Muchas gracias.
Man, and me without my SAP button. Kenny?
Well, Gasol, he's always had a great touch. But now he's just extending it from a mid-range into a long range. So I'm not surprised by this. Muy bien.
That's about does it for now. Let's get to Kevin Harlan. Adios.
It's a Western Conference battle here at the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles as the Lakers look to work home court advantage. Hi, this is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, our Hall of Fame sideline reporter David Aldridge. And a special treat here tonight. Joining us courtside is 5-time NBA champion Kobe Bryant. Kobe, great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
I appreciate it, man. It's always a pleasure to stop by and help out.
We're going to have a lot of fun tonight.
I'm sure.
And it's another road game for the Grizzlies. Guys, coming into this game, it's been 5 consecutive losses, so confidence obviously will be a key for him tonight.
Yeah, and Kevin, things are starting to get a little bit out of control for him. This losing streak is starting to become an embarrassment, and it's only going to get worse if things don't change.
And we've got time for a quick pregame report. With that being said, let's head to the sideline and our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. D.A.?
Well, guys, Luke Walton played 10 seasons in the NBA, but it wasn't until near the end in 2011 that he started to consider coaching. Walton says, "I never thought about it until I hurt my back." Now, while he was out of action, Phil Jackson invited him to sit in on the coaches' meetings. Walton said, "I realized that I liked that side of the game." And Kevin, he succeeded Phil Jackson as head coach of the Lakers. Back to you.
It definitely did, David. He won titles when he played for the Lakers. Now he'll try to bring that winning mindset back to L.A. Talk, Kobe, about some of the great one-on-one scores. You might be the best ever, actually. But when you take a look at the crop now, who are some good guys in that one-on-one category that you like?
Kyrie's sensational.
Yeah, great handle. How about his handle? Like one of the best ever made.
Yeah, but he can post too, though. I mean, that's the thing is he can post up. He can turn left shoulder. He can turn right shoulder. He can shoot a left-hand jump hook coming across the middle. He can pull up going left. He can pull up going right. He can attack off the handle. He can attack off a triple threat. You know, he's built the game without any weaknesses. I think most players, should be thankful that he's not 6'6".
You're right. He'd be Kobe Bryant then, right?
Yeah.
He'd be Kobe Bryant. But I always thought that, and his dad played big-time college basketball, played in Australia. Your dad played. I mean, there is something inherent, regardless of how much, that comes from the son of a pro player.
Growing up overseas as well.
Exactly, in Australia.
Overseas as well. And look at his game being so fundamentally sound and having the basic structure. There's a lot to be said for that.
Absolutely. And the starting group for the Grizzlies. In the post, it's Green and Gasol together. McLemore is out there with Conley. And it's Evans in at the 3, the small forward. Now here's Curry. Connects from three-point range. And with all the different technological advances in the league, you see a lot of player and coaches now reviewing clips and tablets and a lot of film sessions. I know you used to study a lot of the league's videotapes. How much easier is film study now, say, from the time in the late 90s when you got in the NBA?
It's so much easier.
Really?
Oh, my God. When I used to get in the hotel rooms, you used to have to call the front desk. They used to roll up the TV on the wheels.
With the VCR machine.
With the VCR connected
right.
to it, right? And I have to have all of these tapes, and you got to put the tape in, and you got to rewind it, and you got to fast forward it, and you got to rewind it.
Yeah.
Now it's just everything's right there in front of you, right? And it's very easy to skip and go to the next game, and then jump back to the game before, or fast forward to the fourth quarter. I mean, it's so easy now.
Now here's Evans. Harrison Barnes missing his last shot. Green inside the three-point line. The basket good off the assist from Evans. Green's got his first 2 points. Kobe, a big part of the talent evaluation today is the psychological impact and that aspect, which I think will lead teams toward one prospect over another. If you were looking for personality traits in players and you were making that decision for a team, what trait would you value the most in a player?
No, curiosity. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's curiosity.
Why so?
Because curious people will always ask why things work or don't work.
And you were a big why asker.
You have to, because that's the only reason you win, is when you can figure out why things happen or didn't happen. Right? If you lose a game, a curious person won't point the finger. A curious person will say, well, why did we lose? You know, instead of just saying them.
Right.
They're going to go back and check the film and ask questions. Okay, why did we mess up there? Why did we blow that coverage there?
And both free throws good for Curry. In competition, once again, Kobe, the thing that drives you so much, even on the practice floor, you and Jordan were so much alike in that regard. Is it important to go at your teammates and challenge them in those practices that you recall?
You have to challenge them, because if you don't, then they become conditioned to not have those challenges every day, right? So if you come off of a night where you have a back-to-back, for example, and you have a practice the next morning, it's our responsibility to step into that practice and challenge them as if it was the game that we just played the night before. Right? Because if you do not, then you don't have that competitive spirit day in and day out, where then you feel like you can take games off, because you can take practices off because you just don't have it in practice. Right? So it's our job to bring that every single day so that competing just becomes a habit for them.
And you learn about their mental endurance, their physical endurance during those practices.
Well, yeah, you challenge them to learn about themselves. Right? You challenge them to think about themselves. Can I push it a little extra? I'm going to have to, because he's driving me like crazy. And if I don't meet that challenge, I'm going to have to hear his mouth all practice long. I'm going to have to hear his mouth on the plane. I'm going to have to hear his mouth on the bus. I'm going to have to hear his mouth in the locker room.
Yeah.
And I'd rather just compete.
Now, Green following Tyreek Evans' three-point attempt. Good-looking screen by Gasol. No one near Conley as he lets it go. The shot goes down, and it gets this game back to even.
Yeah, and coming off that pick there, Conley able to get to his sweet spot and convert.
Kobe, I'm assuming that you've had teammates come back later and say, Kobe, you made me a better player.
Yeah, well, the thing is, when we're playing together, they don't like it very much because I'm always challenging them. But then at the end, even to this day, we're all very close. We're all great friends because they knew what I was trying to do was trying to push them to be the best version of themselves.
The Grizzlies trail by 3. Kobe, you've made no bones about patterning your game after Michael Jordan. You watched him while growing up. Can you give us a little insight into the impact of what he meant to you and how he formed you in some ways?
Sure. Well, I think most players growing up, at least my generation, probably watched him play and saw all of the fancy plays, the dunks, the highlights, and things of that nature. What I focused on was how he got there. The moves, the timing, the fundamentals, the spacing, the rhythm. That's what I studied meticulously. And so when I watched him play, I think I watched him play a little differently than others. Having not going to college and all these other things, growing up overseas, I had to learn the fundamentals by watching and observing the greats, and to the most minute detail.
On the free throw, no good. So last season, Kobe, one of the closest MVP races we've had in a long time, came down to Westbrook and Harden. Who did you think was going to win before the results came out, and why?
Yeah, I didn't even stop to think about that because they're both like little brothers to me. So even though I could sit there and say,
couple LA kids too.
Yeah, I know them both extremely well, and they're both extremely deserving of it. So I've refused to split it.
Yeah.
They're both my guys.
And different kinds of games, and both sensational individual players.
Yeah, they're just phenomenal. I mean, they can do so many things in the game, and now I think the next progression for them is to be able to dominate the game off the ball just as much as they can dominate on the ball, right? Because in the playoffs, the defense has a hard time finding it.
Here's Curry. Michael Conley making his last shot. 6 on the shot clock. It's stolen by Green. Here's Evans. Finds the hole for the second time from the floor. Now 2 for 5. And to have the ball in your hands at all times, always bringing it up. It's exhausting, though, right? That's what they say.
But
now,
they
for
see
you,
the defense sees you, right?
Yeah.
So if you're handling the ball, the defense has eyes on you at all times. You're here. You're right in front of the defense. When you don't have the ball, you're moving behind them. Curry moves behind.
All the time.
He'll bring it up, pass it, and now he's running off the screens behind the defense, right? And it's hard to find him.
Rip Hamilton the same way.
Rip
when he
Hamilton,
played.
same way.
I know.
Jordan, flare picks, down screens, slicing into the post,
Yes.
right? Coming up to the pinch post. All those operational things take place behind the view of the defense.
On defense, Memphis. It's a 3-point game. Dishes it to Bogut. The pass to Ball. Lakers passing it around. Just 5 to shoot. Green with the block, but they recover it. That one drops for him. Grizzlies have gotten 6 of 11 shots to go down so far. Pretty nice shooting. Some say, Kobe, that the shooting guard crop in the NBA right now, a little light in terms of depth. Not quite as many top 2 guards as we used to see play the game. Who do you like among some of the 2 guards you see now in the NBA?
Well, it depends who we're considering a 2 guard.
Right,
Now,
because they
the
just
ones,
blend,
the 2s,
don't they?
the 3s, they all just blend.
Combo guards are playing some forward position. It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah. So, shooting guards to me are guards that have to do everything. You have to be able to play the post. You have to be able to play the perimeter. You have to be able to play the point. You have to do everything. So I'll put Russell Westbrook in that category. I'll put James Harden in that category. I'll put Kawhi Leonard in that category. There's a lot of players I'm forgetting. Even Giannis, I would say, is a 2 guard because of what he does.
Yes.
So there's a lot of talented guards out there.
Did you like the ball in your hand, bringing it up, or would you have rather someone else bring it up, then get it to you in the half court, and then do what you did?
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm jealous about Michael, because Michael didn't have to do that. He had Pippen.
Yes, right, who always brought it up.
Yeah,
yes,
so he could focus on coming off the screens and catching and shooting. He didn't have to think about facilitating first. He could think about scoring and then passing out of double teams.
Here's Ball. Michael Conley making his last shot. Now here is Bogut. His last outing, he had 8 points. Down low, just 5 on the clock. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2. Well, Kobe, something that's such a huge tool in the NBA and the team's offense is the pick and roll, the screen roll game. You've done it as well as anybody. Just how are the nuances and the attention to detail important to make that play work?
Well, it's really important, but the screen roll today is run differently than it was, say, when Utah was running it with Stockton and Malone. What you're seeing now is more of a spread floor screen roll action where it makes rotations very difficult because you have to rotate off of shooters at a distance.
Right.
So now what you tend to see more teams try to down pick and roll coverages and sending guys to one side of the floor and try to play the screen roll coverage with 2 men. And try to not have 3 guys in the action where you have to rotate and now push your team behind, right? And that it's a dance of, can you play the screen roll with just 2 guys? And on offense, can I force you to have a 3rd guy come in and rotate? If I can do that offensively, then you're behind.
And he's good on the second. And Kobe, something that has changed in the NBA over the course of your career is the role of the power forward, the 4. More and more you need to be able to stretch the floor, take your guy outside, shoot the 3. Do you feel that that's a trend, or is that something you think that is here to stay in the NBA?
Well, I think things will evolve and things will change. I mean, you start getting power forwards like Tim Duncan and Garnett back in the league, Dirk. All of a sudden, it becomes less and less of a commodity to have smaller 4s.
Right.
Because you're going to need to deal with the Tim Duncans and the Garnetts of the world. So I think it's just a natural evolution thing.
Did you, when you had to guard a big like that, ever fear going out and trying to get him on the side or even working him inside the lane where he would have more power, more advantage?
No, I never worried about it too much. What I try to do is I always try to study the film and figure out what their tendencies are, what their sweet spots are, and you just try to get them off of that. It's not necessarily about the size of them, but how do you get yourself in position where you can knock them off balance a little bit and use the lack of size that you have to disorient them.
Hey, Kobe, when you take a look at great NBA rivalries, your mind goes more to the past than the present. I'm not sure why that is, but maybe you can enlighten us why rivalries seem to matter more or were more in our minds from yesteryear as opposed to today.
Because we can recall where we were when.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah,
the recollection is always more powerful in retrospect, right? I mean, that's always, you remember where you were when, Magic hit that running hook shot.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Some people can remember where they were when Nelson hit that shot that bounced off the back of the rim and almost touched the rafters and fell back in, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it's those memories that create a lasting impact. And even though in today's game, you can look at it and say, there's no real rivalries in today's game, there are. But they're only sink in over time.
Mm-hmm. So you think the Cleveland-Golden State rivalry, because the greats are on opposite sides there, will linger and will resonate like that?
Absolutely.
J.J. Barea checked in for ball, and so he's able to get one of two. And over the course of your career, Kobe, 5 NBA championships. Are there any of those that really stand out among the 5 that you accumulated?
The last one, beating the Celtics. That was the hardest one by far to get.
Why so?
Well, we're going into Boston now with the series tied 1-1, and Boston is absolutely excited about having this split and going home now and having 3 games at home, thinking that the series was not going to come back to L.A. And so that was an interesting playing fight for us, and then to go out and get the very next game, just to go down 3-2, coming back to L.A., and then to finally pull out that series after being down 15 in the fourth quarter against the Celtics. Can't get any better than that.
Hey, Kobe, after dedicating pretty much your entire life to the game of basketball, a game that I know you love, you said you don't miss it. Why is that?
Well, because I've been through that process. I mean, I started playing the game when I was like 2 years old, and playing professionally for 20 years, and I left no stone unturned. So there's no regrets there. I've done everything I could possibly do, and truthfully, the game is still with me. The discipline has changed. The industry might have changed, but the same approach, the same things that I've learned from the game, I carry with me to this day. So the game is still inside of me.
Parsons for 3, and again, it's Memphis with the 3.
And guys, this is the blueprint for winning on the road. How about the level of focus on each and every possession?
Yeah, it's actually palpable, isn't it, Greg? I mean, you can feel it. Every single one of these guys locked in, playing for each other. And that's why they're up.
And Caldwell Pope gets the basket. Kobe, any chance you might coach or might be a consultant to an organization, for instance?
No,
not at all.
Listen, players reach out to me and they'll call me and I'll give them advice, and I like it better that way as opposed to being tied down with one particular franchise. And I like what I'm doing now, and any player from all over the world can reach out, and I'm there for them in terms of providing advice or counsel.
Well, the story got out last year in the playoffs that Isaiah Thomas and you had some conversations.
Yeah. Well, he reached out and had some questions about how to approach that particular series, and I just said, send me over the film. What are you looking at? And I'll tell you. I'll take a look at it and I'll tell you what I see, and then you can go from there.
Here is Davis following the basket by Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Pass to Harrison. On the wing, Davis. Parsons outside. Wright sets a screen for Parsons. And the rejection by Zubac. Clarkson against Chalmers. Pass to Barea. Chalmers against Clarkson. And Davis sends it back. And here's the fast break. Chalmers leading the way. Parsons outside. Here's Harrison. He's guarded by Caldwell-Pope. And Parsons kicks to Chalmers. Here's Harrison. Memphis the rebound. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. Now let's take a look at how the shots have been divided up between 3-point shots and 2-point shots for the Grizzlies.
Liking the effectiveness they've shown here from three-point land. And I say, hey, shoot it more. They've been successful with a high field goal percentage, and we'll see if that continues to be a part of their arsenal.
Free throw drops for Wright. And so Wright nails both of them. We've got 1:18 left to play in the first. Barea with it. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Shot clock at 6. Lets a floater go. Tries again. Here's Zubac. Lays it in without an inch of room around him.
Really nice job to convert the putback opportunity there. I mean, he stayed with that play from start to finish. That's something we say about him a lot.
Here's Harrison. He's coming off a 10-point game against Phoenix. Parsons outside. Passes it to Harrison. Chalmers against Clarkson. The Grizzlies shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game.
And one of the highlights on the season has been their ability to make free throws. How about 82% as a unit?
And that's a little better than they did last year from the free throw line.
No good on that one. Good on the second free throw. Here's Barea. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. The pass to Kuzma. 23 seconds left in the first quarter. Nice ball movement here by the Lakers. And here's Barea outside. Buries it from three-point range.
And, you know, Barea is a fairly consistent three-point threat. You can't sleep on him out there.
Here's Harrison, guarded by Barea. Harrison kicks to Parsons. Over Caldwell Pope. And as we conclude the first quarter, a one-sided game so far. Grizzlies lead by 10. Live from the Staples Center, you're watching 2K Sports. Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Memphis.
You know, they've done a great job of getting a hand up on shooters. Actually have gotten a lot of blocks as well, solidifying that defensive effort.
And also, how about the fact defensively they're getting that backboard and getting out in transition, especially in this first half.
Here's Clarkson, still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Taking a look at the Grizzlies. Harrison out there with Chalmers. Then there's Chandler Parsons. Then it's Brandon Wright, and it's Davis in at the 4. You know, Kobe, you played 20 years in the NBA. Sports medicine and training becoming increasingly important for extending careers, keeping guys on the floor. How far has that science come in the time from you when you entered the league until the time that you retired last year?
Well, it helped me play 20 years.
Yeah, right.
You know?
But different methods all the way, huh?
Different methods all the way. I mean, it's when I first came in the league and understanding what sports medicine was at the time and the research on recovery. And as the years went on, more science and research started coming out on the benefits of contrast therapy, of ice baths, and surgical procedures. Like, you know, if I would have ruptured my Achilles years ago, I never would have come back from that. You know, now, you know, my Achilles, even as I sit here today, it's like I never hurt it.
No kidding.
It's amazing.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Shot from free throw range. That's good on the jump shot. Harrison's got 5 now.
You can ill afford to put a smaller defender on him. I mean, especially from the mid-range. You're asking for trouble.
Pass to Zubac. Outside for Barea. Barea with a screen on Davis. Offline with his 3. And Kobe, in your opinion, what's been the common thread for all these advances in sports medicine?
I think it's the minds. It's the minds of people in medicine that are constantly pushing the industry forward. And, you know, it's our responsibility and the team's responsibility to find these great minds and turn them loose, right? And trust them with the process, trust them with your athlete. But the key is you have to find the right ones.
And Parsons gets it to go. Lakers trail by 12. But you got to play against some great defenders in the NBA like Draymond Green of Golden State and others. What are some of the things that, I mentioned Draymond Green, that he does as a player that you think separates him from the rest of the defensive guys in the league?
He does his research. He does his homework.
You can tell.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can tell. When you watch him play, he puts himself in position before the offensive player even attacks. And how does he know that? Because he's watched the film. He studies. He knows the player's tendencies. And so when you mix in the research to go along with his frame and the quick hands and the foot speed, then you have a defensive player that's a force.
And the shot is good. The Grizzly lead has been cut down to just 8 points with the bucket from Kuzma. Harrison kicks to Davis. Chalmers against Clarkson. Clarkson's outside. On the wing, Davis. Clarkson's outside. Good, and it's Chalmers with the assist that time. 11 points for Chandler Parsons. A lot of different ways to lead in the NBA, Kobe. It seems like your leadership style evolved over the course of your career. Talk about that aspect of your game.
Well, in the first half of my career, I was more of a tactician, more floor general. And then the second half of my career, I had to really start thinking about the emotions of the group and connecting with the group more and thinking more outside in as opposed to inside out. But I was also, I was very tough on the guys. I wasn't there to make new friends. I was there to help you be the best player you can be, to help us win a championship.
Was it tough sometimes to have a guy that you were close to take some harsh criticism?
No, because the goal is what? To win a championship. This is why we're here. This is why I'm sitting in this leadership position. I owe it to the team to help us get in that direction. You know, we can sit here and be nice to each other and tell each other what we think we want to hear. And then at the end of the season, we can all hug each other and say, you know what, we'll get them next time.
Nance, right side. Bogut dishes to Nance. Nance sets a screen for Curry. Back to Nance. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play. You look back to the final game as a player, Kobe, all the emotion that was building up for that moment. Then you go out and score 60 points. Surreal moment. Did you ever think for any moment that maybe I've got 1 year left in the tank after that 60-point performance?
You know what? It wasn't a matter if I had another year in the tank. It was just, I just don't want to do this anymore. You know, I wake up in the morning, my body's sore. You know, that 60-point game was everything I had left for that year. And to be able to have to, like, reboot that and reset the system all over again, no thank you.
People don't see that side of it, do they, though?
No, they don't. But you know, it's just, nor do we want them to, right? We want them to appreciate being entertained and coming to a game and taking their mind off of whatever it is they want to take their mind off of. It's an opportunity for them to escape. And that's what we provide. So that's completely fine.
Now here's Conley. He's got 12. Green, the pass to Conley. Green, the screen. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen. And Kobe, did the Laker front office ever talk to you or just brush an idea past you to get your opinion on things, whether it be a trade or a free agent signing or whatever?
No, we never really did that. We never had that kind of working relationship. And I think it's actually better that way because then it enables me to have a better relationship with the guys where they know I'm not involved in those decisions. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because if so, it makes it weird. That relationship, guys get traded and teammates are looking at you and it's hard for them to trust you and all sort of stuff. The most conversation I had was with Dr. Buss in this very shaky time.
Yes.
Where I voiced my concerns and he said, listen, I promise you, we see the right trade, we will pull the trigger and I'm going to do everything I can to get you a championship. I promise you that. And after he said that, I trusted him completely. That was that. And then the following year, he made a beautiful trade for Pau Gasol.
He sure did. And a couple championships. Worked out well.
Yeah, it did.
Man, the triples keep falling, guys. That's 3 in a row.
I think they're playing too soft on the perimeter. They can't stay so soft. They've got to get up into the shooters here.
And Nance kicks to Curry. Banked in off the glass. Curry's got 7 points in the game. And the trend around the league, Kobe, is more offense, more three-pointers, certainly spacing, fluid offense. Scoring is up around the league in a measurable way from, it seems like, year to year. Do you like the way this is trending, or do you think the NBA should maybe put a governor on this, harness it in just a little bit?
Well, I think it'll swing back to the way,
Do you?
Yeah, because the game has gone through that progression before. And, it's constantly evolving. And so I think you'll see it swing back eventually. You'll have a couple teams that are just big and may have a dominant post player, and all of a sudden you're going inside, and then that team will win a championship, and then the rest of the teams in the league will try to copycat the way the game is played that way. Then things will swing back. So it's just natural evolution of the game, I think.
Ball with the bucket. And Kobe, how did you learn to watch tape? Because there are guys now watching tape and they'll just go, and you wonder if it's really even sinking in.
Trial and error.
Yeah, right. But really, that was it.
Trial and error. You start looking at things, you start saying, man, like if I'm watching an edit on a player and I watch one particular game, and then I look at the next game and he's doing the same thing. And the next night, he's doing the same thing. Hold on, let me go back and watch. And then you start looking for consistent behaviors or patterns in their behavior. And then you think, okay, maybe that's something that's a tendency for him. Let me go back and check. 2 dribbles, turn. 2 dribbles, turn. 2 dribbles, turn. 2 dribbles, turn. 2 dribbles. Oh, my God. Yeah,
there
that's
it is.
it.
There's the pattern.
Right, so what if I interrupt him between his first and second dribble and throw him off a rhythm? What'll happen then? Right? What if I know he's going to go 1-2, turn right shoulder? I let him go 1-2. Now I jump to his right shoulder. Now you can't turn there. What happens then? Right? You throw him off of their patterns.
And you look at the NBA today and the social media, Kobe, a lot easier for NBA players to connect with fans over that social media platform. However, it's also easier to get people in trouble. Players have got to keep that periscope up, so to say. How hard do you think that is to manage?
Well, I think now in this particular generation, the sensitivity towards things you may hear or see on social media is much different than it would have been years ago. In other words, nowadays for athletes to be on social media, it's more easily tolerable for them to say something, right? Or to be able to speak their mind.
Yes.
And I think the important thing is just the consistency in that. If you have a thought and you want to say it, say it. Right? Put it out on social media. Do whatever it is that you want to do with it. The key is just to be consistent and be who you are, not be afraid to be who you are.
Here is Nance, following the basket by Marc Gasol. Curry can't get it to go.
And just not able to find the target from three-point range here in the second quarter, although he did knock down one in the first.
Here's Gasol, and that one comes up a bit short.
This has been a rough, turbulent outing for him so far. Fortunately, the rest of his team has bailed him out.
Ball dishes to Nance. He kicks the ball. He feeds it to Barnes, shoots a 3. Here's Nance. Nice work on the board. It's paying off with the basket. Nance has got 9.
Really strong rebounding on the interior, and he gets the easy putback.
Conley, the pass to Parsons. At the elbow, it's Gasol. He dishes it to McLemore. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. 6 points for Ben McLemore.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
Yeah, it's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he was on the money, that's no doubt. Now, here's Curry. 9 points in the game so far. On the wing, Barnes. Covered by Evans. Barnes can't get it to go. It's stolen by Bogut. It's rebounded by Memphis. Gasol's got his 6th rebound on the night. Stolen by Ball. And now Ball pushing it up. No one back to stop him.
Nice quickness displayed there by Ball. Lethal in the open floor. Actually, that's his best game. Open court basketball. Tough matchup for the D.
Well, Kobe, you look at all the former Defensive Player of the Year, and they're almost always big men. You were a 9-time first-team all-defensive selection in the NBA. Do you think guards sometimes get overlooked at the impact they have in a game and a play?
Yeah, they definitely do.
All the time, huh?
I think the bigs have a huge responsibility in protecting the rim, and those things are very easy to measure.
Right, block shots and
blocks,
right, exactly.
Rebounding,
Right.
altering shots or defensive rebounds. For guards, it's tougher. But still in all, there's some guards out there who have have done it. Michael and Gary Payton and, Kawhi Leonard, I count him as a guard. They're just phenomenal defensive players.
Where does that mindset come from, that defensive mindset, when you're an offensive gifted player like yourself?
Well, I think that's a truly competitive person. Some players will call themselves competitive, but you're not truly competitive if you only compete at one end of the floor. That's not what true competitive people do.
Can't allow Barnes that kind of good position in the post, because once he has it, it's dinner time.
Outside Conley. Here's Gasol, and it comes off the front of the rim.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Curry, good.
Well, after struggling in the first quarter, he's come alive here in the second.
And the Grizzlies leading by 8. Conley kicks to Gasol. He can't get that one to fall. Nice D from Bogut.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by, Kobe. Hope you come back and join us again.
I definitely will. I had a great time, man. Thank you for having me.
And Clark, you've been broadcasting for the entire span of Kobe's playing career. How is it to share a booth with someone who you've watched progress throughout their entire career?
Well, it certainly reminds me that I'm moving into that last block on the demographic charts. I'm in the early third quarter, if you will, that's for sure. But it's a treat, because it's wonderful to see how he grew as a player and as a man, and much, much respect for Kobe Bryant, because he's a first ballot Hall of Famer and doing great things off the court, too.
Nice shot by Evans.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Ennis kicks to Barnes. Here's the screen. Over Davis. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
And, Greg, the defense has been very slow to adapt. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Evans outside. Floats one up. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Bogut's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Caldwell Pope. Evans with some nice D. And so it's Memphis with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They've done a lot of great work from long range. And don't go away. We'll be right back.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We're going to break down all the action from the first half. Nobody had an answer for Mike Conley in the first. He had 14 points, 4 assists, and 1 steal. Kenny, what'd you think about the Grizzlies?
Well, I thought that turning point was when the bench came in. Those guys really hustled, and they gave the team some energy, and then they started to score baskets. That was a bonus.
Shaq, your take on the Lakers.
The thing I like was how they were making a conscious effort to work the ball inside. They should do the same in the second half. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Whether running the offense through the post, driving it, doesn't matter. Get to the rim, and the rest will take care of itself.
That's it for now, as the second half's just about ready to go.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. We're seeing a tremendous game from Mike Conley.
Yeah, and sometimes you find yourself in a role you're not comfortable with, but his passing in the first half really was impressive.
Yeah, and he accumulated a lot of assists, and I liked how unselfish he was, Greg.
Clark, when you watch a team that's clicking on offense, what are some of the smaller things, the small details that are setting them apart?
Well, a couple of things. One is solid screen setting. That's huge because that's an unselfish act when you set a screen to get somebody else open. Then ball movement, being willing to go past a good opportunity for a next pass best opportunity. I think the Golden State Warriors do that as well as any team in basketball. The extra pass, sharing the ball, and giving themselves up for each other.
They've got Harrison Barnes. Bogut out there with Larry Nance. Then it's Curry. And it's Ball in at the 1 spot. That's the Laker 5. Now Curry. Following the miss by Michael Conley from deep. Nance sets a screen for Curry. Stolen by Michael Conley. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
You know, when Conley's scoring like this, I think they are a better team. I mean, the passing is great, but fill it up, Mike. I'm loving this. And Mike Conley Jr., you know, you talk about being bred for success. Remember, his dad was a gold medalist in the triple jump. And you can just see that athleticism in his game. Super quick and elusive out on the floor.
And Memphis making a change here. Green's checked in. And with Conley's athleticism and his handle, tough to keep him out of the lane.
And if you go under on that pick, he can hurt you from deep. This guy really the complete package, arguably the most underrated point guard in our league.
Now here's Ball. Bogut sets a screen for Ball. 6 to shoot. Nance a screen, and it's Ball in the corner. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Curry's got 4 assists in the game. Outside Conley. The feed to Gasol. Over Bogut. Gasol's shot is good. Gasol's got 6. Right around a minute and a half played here in the third quarter. Curry on the wing. Bogut dishes to Curry. Over McLemore. Curry's shot is off. And the Grizzlies leading by 7. Now Conley. He's got 17. Evans outside. Outside Green. There's a screen. And stolen by Barnes. With some arc. And he sinks the layup. He has 6.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
And the replay is courtesy of Under Armour. Unleash chaos. It was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end. For Memphis, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. Conley, the pass to Green. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. The shot's good from Gasol.
And, you know, Gasol is really superb at scoring over the defense inside. Now, it's not just his height and length, but I think it's his girth, too. He knows how to use every part of his body in close.
Now here's Barnes. He's got 6. Curry kicks to Nance. And the jam by Larry Nance.
Yeah, he just punched the ticket on that one. That'll get the job done.
Powerful two-hand jam.
I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will really start shrinking.
Conley dishes to Gasol. They set the pick. McLemore, the pass to Gasol. And the wide-open shot from Evans. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Gasol's got his 3rd assist on the night. Ball kicks to Bogut. Top of the key Ball. Over Conley. Ball no good. And the Grizzlies leading by 8. Evans passes to Conley. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Conley against Bogut. Conley dishes to Gasol. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Nice D from Bogut. Curry on the wing. Guarded by McLemore. Bogut kicks to Barnes. Feeds it to Nance. 5 on the clock. Over Green. No good on that one. And the Grizzlies going the other way now. Last game matchup with the Suns, a tough loss there.
Yeah, they couldn't do any better than a shooting percentage in the low 30s on that night, guys, and that's pretty much a death sentence.
Yeah, I can't name a team that's going to find a way to win shooting like that. I mean, they never had a chance with the touch they had that night.
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Zubac is checked in for Bogut. Jordan Clarkson comes in for Curry, and Barea subbed in for Ball. Now here's Conley. Larry Nance unable to get his shot to go. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the Grizzlies?
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
They have, but you also can't overlook how well they've defended the rim, as they've challenged every shot and also gotten quite a few blocks as well. And while we've got a chance, let's check out the stats for Barnes. 9th in free throw percentage, and he sits in the top 15 in points per game. An absolute powerhouse offensively.
And yeah, he's a true professional at the free throw line. It's a part of the game where he excels. You want him at the line for you in crunch time. Now here's Barea. 6 points for him. And here's Clarkson. Here's Kuzma. And the 3 off target.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Clearly a frustrating missed opportunity there. Perfect screen, got him the space he needed, but he bricked it.
Conley, and the rejection by Zubac. Here's Clarkson, and it goes down 2 points. Clarkson's got his second bucket of the night.
Fighting his way inside, Clarkson shows good body control.
And the Grizzlies leading by 9.
And continuity is one thing that lends itself to winning. You see that in Memphis, that their key players in Gasol and Conley, these guys are all getting it done.
And McLemore kicks to Evans. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Here's Conley, and another basket for Memphis.
And never one to force the issue. Conley smoothly knocks that down.
And the challenge for the Grizzlies has been finding that 4th or 5th star caliber player, Greg, to push them over the top.
And they've needed a two-way terror on the wing for the longest time here. None of their draft picks or free agent signings have really broken through. And that's what it's going to take if they want to break through in the West.
You know, he's been off so far, Kevin, but there's still time. I mean, he just needs to settle it down, idle it down a little bit, and try to contribute as much as he can on the offense within himself.
Now here's Evans. 14 points for him. Here's Gasol. Oh, and it looks like that's going to be a goaltending call. Yep, that's it. So they'll get the basket.
Just barely too late and catches it on the way down. He's already in the air there, committed, so can't fault him for going for the block. And a lot of noise coming from these fans after that call was made.
Well, it seems like we've got some rookie officials here trying to handle the business and on the court, and the crowd clearly not in harmony with what they're calling. Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
To the wing right side. And the rejection by Zubac. Here's Kuzma. He has 5. Back to Barea. And no one near Clarkson as he lets it go. No good on the triple. And the Grizzlies leading by 10. Outside Conley. Pass to Harrison. Kicks it to Green. Passes to Harrison. 3-pointer. Conley's shot is off. Los Angeles has gone 6 of 14 with the 3 ball tonight, just a little over 40%. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Well, the Lakers last season, the worst defensive team in the NBA. Again, offense was a little bit better. Clark, what's the key for them offensively?
Well, I think a couple of things. One, ball movement, utilizing everybody. Last season, they were bottom 5 in assists, top 5 in turnovers, and that ratio, those numbers, not conducive to good offense.
The first one falls. Clark, as an analyst, do you feel you view the game drastically different from when you were in your playing days in college and the NBA?
Yeah, you know what, Kevin? I really do, because I've benefited from the different coaches we've had a chance to visit with over the years, and that's added to my perspective. And you tend to look at things differently when you're playing. I was always a student of the game, but clearly I think I've become a lot more analytical as an analyst, if that makes any sense.
Yes. Now here's Parsons. He's got 11. And Chalmers kicks to Harrison. The dish to Green. Barea against Chalmers. Floats one. And the layup is up and in. And the Grizzlies lead by 11.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the floater.
Now here's Barea. 6 points for him. Caldwell Pope outside. They set the pick. Dishes to Barea. Trying his luck deep. It's rebounded by Memphis.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Lakers trail by 11. The pass to Kuzma. Off target from outside. Memphis leading by 11. Harrison kicks to Parsons. Here's Harrison, guarded by Barea. The three from Chalmers. That shot off. And it's the Lakers the other way, coming off that loss against the Timberwolves.
Yeah, that was more than just a tough loss. That was a complete embarrassment.
Yeah, the woodshed is what we call that. They annihilated them, simply had no answers for how to slow them down.
Now here's Caldwell Pope. They count on his contributions, currently providing 16.5 points a game. Pass to Zubac. Here's Kuzma. Caldwell Pope outside. For the three. Trying to get back on track. No good from Zubac.
That's smothering defense. Chicken and gravy defense, not giving him an inch there. That's how you guard the inside. Yes, sir.
Now, here's Chalmers. Pass to Harrison. Wright sets a screen. Harrison passes to Wright. He kicks it to Chalmers. A floater. The shot off that time. So Los Angeles will take it the other way.
And he's trying to shoot his way out of it. You know, they have the lead, but honestly, I think it might help if he'd be a little bit more selective tonight.
Way to work the glass, buffet style. Second chance buckets. They can make a big difference.
Wright sets a screen. Harrison kicks to Wright. There's the pick. Parsons for three. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. They faced off right here last time they met, but the home club just couldn't pull out the win.
Yeah, and they got beat last time these two teams met, and really free throws were the story.
Yeah, you know, that differential jumps off the page to me, and whether it's more disciplined defense or more aggressive offense, they've got to look to flip that script tonight.
Trains the three-pointer.
Okay, we got a nice little back and forth going here.
Yeah, and I like it. I love seeing that. It's a lot of fun when that happens. These teams are going at each other from the outside.
Now here's Barea. He's got 9. Passes it to Kuzma. Takes the three. And again, it's the Lakers from deep.
Tell you what, it does not matter who's shooting. The defense has got to be better at getting a hand up on long-range shooters. You've got to challenge the shot.
Here's Parsons. 14 points for him. The feed now to Chalmers. Green with a screen on Clarkson. Here's Chalmers. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Chalmers has got 5.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, not a lot of effort put forth on defense there. I mean, I think he's definitely got to play up on him more and off the screen in that situation.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
The third quarter comes to a close. Memphis out in front, leading by 8. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the fourth quarter. Just one quarter left in regulation. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. And it's the Grizzlies with the ball. At one point, they led by 16. On the court for Memphis to start the fourth. Davis is out there with Wright. Then it's McLemore. Then there's Chandler Parsons. And it's Harrison in at the point. Here's Harrison. 6 to shoot. Davis setting the pick for McLemore. And it's sent back by Bogut.
And with that condor-like wingspan, Bogut says,
Here's Ennis. Again, Los Angeles. Here's Harrison. He feeds it to McLemore. Over Curry. Takes the 12-footer and hits. 8 points for Ben McLemore.
that mid-range jumper is just another one of his weapons.
Ennis dishes to Nance. Back to Ennis. Screen by Bogut. Caldwell-Pope passes to Nance. Curry outside. Parsons with the rebound. Memphis leading by 8. There's the pass to Harrison. On the wing, Davis. Parsons outside. He dishes it to McLemore. Here's Harrison. Clock at 6. Makes it off the glass. And the Grizzlies lead by 10.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Greg. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're piling it on now.
So it's the Lakers now, following the score by Memphis. Here's Bogut. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup.
And nobody puts a body on Bogut, and then he makes them pay the price.
Here's Harrison. Wright sets a screen. Now here's McLemore outside. And again, it's the Grizzlies from deep.
And piling on to that big lead, we know he has the range late on the defensive reaction.
Yeah, and you really can't afford those kinds of lapses. I mean, not when facing a hole or a deficit like this.
So it's the Lakers now, after Memphis gets the 3. Nance a screen. Back to Caldwell-Pope. It's good. The assist that time for Ennis. 7 points for Contavious Caldwell-Pope.
Okay, we got a nice little back and forth going here.
Yeah, and I like it. I love seeing that. It's a lot of fun when that happens. These teams are going at each other from the outside.
Now a timeout called by Memphis.
Well, you know, historically, the Lakers have been a glamour franchise and have been able to attract top-tier free agents. The temptation exists to skip any rebuilding and instead look to reload with new stars. We'll see if that pays dividends going forward.
Harrison Barnes, he's checked in for the Lakers. Ball comes in for Tyler Ennis. Memphis also making some changes. Marcus Saul's checked in for Wright. Evans comes in for Parsons. And it's Mike Conley in for Andrew Harrison. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Kevin, during that last break, I heard David Fizdale talking to his team. He still wants them to be aggressive and assertive on offense. He said, I don't want us to get content with this lead. Build on it. Don't give them any chance of getting back in this thing. Kevin?
Thank you, David. And Coach Walton has said when you build from within, you control your own destiny. What do you think, Clark? Should they build slowly but surely or look to land the big free agent?
Well, I think you do a combination of the two, but slow and steady usually wins the race. I know in this day and age we want everything microwave, but one of the questions for the Lakers is how many of these young guys have real star potential? Who are those guys you can build around? And if you don't see it, the temptation grows stronger to go out and try to find that ready-made star.
Here is Conley. Harrison Barnes picking up that last basket. Stolen by Ball. One-on-one fast break, and the whistle blows. It's going to be on Michael Conley. That's his first foul.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. I mean, the defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
Now here's Curry. Barnes can't get it to go. Evans against Barnes. Evans kicks to Conley. Out to the wing. Memphis moving it around. To the paint. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And we just had one of the closer MVP races in recent memory. Clark, do you define the MVP as a player with the most impressive stats, or the best player on the best team, or somewhere in between?
Kevin, to me, the MVP is an individual award. Clearly, we play a team game in the NBA, and a team's performance is part of that, but it's a small part of it to me. An MVP performance is one that not only has consistent, high-level statistical production, influences winning at a good rate, but also stands out in the magnitude of the moments this player has over the course of the season. Those two things drive the needle for me as an MVP voter if I had such a vote.
Both shots good from the stripe. And Clark, just how important to a team is it to have a veteran presence on it? Like, how did the vets on the Pacers help you when you were a rookie or a young player in the league?
You know what? I think it's invaluable, Kevin. I was a 21-year-old rookie. I left after my junior year at Ohio State. And veteran players, Herb Williams had been there a year or two. Guys like Billy Knight and George Johnson, Butch Carter were around. And having those guys talk about what it takes, and we were a very young team and had young veterans, but still they were invaluable in terms of giving you an example of how to go about your business to be successful as a pro.
Here's Curry following the basket by Marc Gasol. Curry dishes to Barnes. Bogut with a screen on Evans. 5 on the clock. Evans against Barnes. That's in for his 5th field goal of the game. Makes him 5 for 12 so far.
Like his mid-range game, Barnes incredibly lethal from the mid-range. When he's got room to shoot, he doesn't hesitate.
Outside Gasol. Feeds to Evans. Outside Davis. Right side Conley. Gasol a screen on Bogut. Here's Conley. Kept alive. Second chance shot. And it's Davis missing.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
You know, that's not easy at all. When guys get this close to the bucket, it's tough to stop the basket.
With the teardrop, that one's good. And the Grizzly lead is cut down now to just 9 in the bucket from Barnes.
Wow, has he flipped a switch at halftime. Much more effective here in the second half.
Now here's Gasol. Evans kicks to Gasol. Over Bogut. Gasol can't get that one to fall.
The right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
Over in the corner, Conley. The basket good off the assist from Evans. Conley's got 13 points here in the second half alone. Curry kicks to Nance. To the wing on the left. Nance a screen. To the middle. Here's Bogut. And Gasol sends it back.
You really got to admire the reach of Gasol. He's excellent at utilizing those long arms of his to turn away shots.
McLemore, the pass to Gasol. Davis with a screen on Nance. Evans dishes to Davis. Now here's McLemore outside. The shot that time not on target. And the Lakers will go the other way with it. They host the Clippers after this game. And that game closes out the 4-game homestand for them. And the shot is good. The Grizzly lead has been cut down to just 10 points with the bucket from Bogut. Evans kicks to Davis. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side.
And that kind of sums up the defensive effort we've seen here tonight, guys.
Los Angeles has gotten some tough luck from three-point range. In the fourth quarter, they've hit just 1 of 6 from deep. Ball, the pass to Barnes. And Curry has it in the corner. Over McLemore. That one's good, and the Grizzly lead is cut down now to just 10 on the basket from Curry.
And now 6 straight points here coming on the inside.
Evans against Barnes. Pulls it from the elbow. Will not go. This is off the front iron. For Los Angeles, they've got a pretty good rhythm going offensively, shooting 8 of 15 for the quarter. Gasol against Bogut. Ball kicks to Barnes. There's the dish to Ball. High arcing shot, and so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Man, I like Ball's energy going to the rack. I mean, he's showing no fear because he knows he's going to get hit, and he drives inside anyway.
Well, it seemed like destiny. The Lonzo Ball would end up with the Lakers. He found his way to the team he grew up watching.
You know, and rarely do you see a team and player be such a perfect fit. But that's the case here. And the pressure will be on Lonzo to succeed in L.A., put a lot of faith in getting to the Lakers. And remember, he turned down workouts from every other team because he wanted to wear that Laker uniform.
That's good from Ball.
Always got to keep an eye on the ball. No pun intended. He's a guy that can do a little bit of everything. A triple-double threat every game.
Caldwell Pope, he's checked in for Los Angeles. And the Grizzlies also with the sub. Green's checked in. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. And a pretty unorthodox slingshot shooting form for Lonzo Ball. Greg brings it up on the left side of his face.
Yeah, but he's still got great balance, and the lower body mechanics are perfect. Good wrist action on the follow-through. Sometimes we get caught up so much in the motion to get to the shot. It's about the release point. And when you get there with this guy and the confidence with which he plays, I think it's a non-issue.
Lakers trail by 8. In the corner, Nance with it. Barnes outside. They set the pick. Kicks it to Caldwell Pope. From 17 feet out. Nance, no good. Memphis has gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc since the final quarter's gotten underway. Evans outside. McLemore with the ball. Stolen by Caldwell Pope. Now the Lakers on the break. Played in with a nice touch off the glass.
And the long strides of KCP. Dangerous changing ends there, and he loves to finish in space.
Green, the screen. Now here is Conley. Defense right on him. Green dishes to McLemore. 5 to shoot. Green kicks to Gasol. Shot to end this cold run. That one misses. Nice D from Bogut. Lakers trail by 6. Caldwell Pope right side. Screen by Bogut. Now Caldwell Pope. Buries it from about 10 feet away. And now it's just a 4-point Memphis lead.
And how about the poise Caldwell Pope displayed on that possession? They needed an important basket, and he was ready and willing.
Now here's Conley. McLemore with the ball. Now guarded by Caldwell Pope. Conley against Bogut. Unloads from 13. Rebounded by the Lakers.
The defense did a really good job of choking off the middle there once he got inside.
And this atmosphere is bananas. Electric in here. I mean, that was a tremendous shot, but this crowd all over it, turned up.
Conley left side. Over Barnes. Here's Gasol. It's in!
We're seeing real hot, on fire version of Gasol right now.
And the Lakers call time here. They trail by 4. 41 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And now we've got a moment for our Jordan Player of the Game, Michael Conley.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
Here's Caldwell Pope. Over McLemore. It's in! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
And Caldwell Pope not letting the pressure of the moment affect his focus.
Well, we can probably expect to see him slow it down now.
Yeah, I think you want to milk your possessions.
Green, the screen. There's the triple. Gasol kicks to McLemore. And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
Yeah, you can't let them hold the ball and just milk those last seconds away.
No, you got to foul. I mean, it's going to come down to free throws here. Foul right away.
And so they foul intentionally.
Gentlemen, two shots. Roof shots.
Gets the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead.
And Mike Conley, the fellow Buckeye, is about as reliable as it gets in running his team and doing everything you want a point guard to do. A crafty defender. He also has really elevated his game offensively.
And he steps up and knocks them down, making it a 2-possession game.
And the Lakers call time here. They trail by 4. 16 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what's your take?
It's going to be interesting to see what they draw up to get this quick shot.
Whatever it is, got to be fast. I mean, can't waste any time at this point.
On its way from Caldwell Pope for 2. And a miss there off the inbound. And they foul intentionally. That's what they have to do at this point.
Two shots.
And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall.
You got to appreciate the skill set of Evans. I mean, Tyreek Evans can play a few different spots for you, and he's got nice handles for a guy his size.
That's good, going 1 of 2 from the line, and that puts them up by 5. Caldwell Pope outside. Lets the 3 fly. They get it back. Nance passes the ball. Caldwell Pope for 3. Cans the 3.
And truth is, I like what the defense does there, but KCP with the high release, undeterred.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. They're ahead by 2. 1 second left to play here in the fourth. And an intentional foul right there.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
But there was no time really to be selective. Stopping the clock was the priority.
2 shots.
Good on the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 4-point ball game.
You've got to figure those are the free throws that officially put this game out of reach.
So a close game sees Memphis take this one. A narrow win under difficult circumstances, Greg, as the visiting team.
It really was, but that didn't seem to bother them. I mean, road team, home team, all I know is they were the better team.
Well said. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Chandler, you guys really passed the ball well tonight, and that seemed to feed energy at both ends.
Yeah, just playing selfish. And as you can see, we're having so much fun when we play that way. When everyone's getting involved, everybody's touching it. It's just a much better team offense when we play like that, and it's successful for us.
It was successful tonight, Chandler. Thanks for your time. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David, thank you. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you later.